We've been telling you this for a while. We've been saying that China is in big trouble, and I think things are about to get worse for them. I'm looking at an article that is entitled, "The European Union Warns China Not to Interfere with Russia Sanctions in Summit," and it urges Xi to condemn invasion. Now, this is very interesting because what we watched in this recent summit, and of course, this was last week, about a week and a half ago, we actually watched Xi Jinping actually be told that he was not to support Russia and was actually asked to tell Russia to stand down. By the way, what they're calling interfering with Russian sanctions, and by the way, this has some significance to the things that we read in the Bible. I'll explain it in just a second. But what they're calling interference with Russian sanctions is the fact that China continues to be one of the biggest customers to Russia to buy all of their oil, which means they're really not losing out. And of course, we told you this. Look, you got to understand, the Bible doesn't talk about the steps to get there, but it certainly talks about the end game. And here are some things that we know with respect to the end game. Number one, we know we're not going to see any superpowers at the time that we see the Ezekiel 38 invasion. We know that Gog, which is a title, presumably the leader of Russia in the region of Magog, with a bunch of other people, are going to be attacking Israel. We know that to be the fact, and we know that there won't be anybody that will physically do anything about it. There will be some nations that'll speak up, presumably Saudi Arabia, the UAE, a couple of other nations that we think will say, hey, this is a bad thing. But I can tell you, based on what we know, we don't think that even China is going to be consequential in Bible prophecy. Now, the reason why we know that is because the Bible doesn't talk about it. Now, people assume that China is part of the roll call for the kings of the East, but that's because people conflate oftentimes Revelation chapter 9 with Revelation chapter 16 and say the 200 million person army happens to be people, and that's probably China, when in reality that is not only logistically impossible, but it's physiologically impossible and most definitely regionally impossible, right? We're talking about a demonic army that we see in the book of Revelation, and so we know China's not going to be included. So what we should be looking for is signs that China is about to be thrown away by the international community, and we're beginning to see signs of that right now. China and Russia especially. So this is interesting, but then I want you to note that Iran's is treated slightly differently. So there's some interesting stuff there, but it all relates to what we read about in Ezekiel chapter 38. Folks, open up your eyes. Jesus is coming soon. This is good stuff to just know what's around the corner. God bless you guys.